Two people who claim to love you just made a betrayal deal last night. Beloved soul, while your eyes were closed and your body lay in peaceful slumber, there was a conversation unfolding behind closed doors, a conversation not of love, but of betrayal. Two people, ones who have spoken words of care to your face and sworn loyalty in your presence, were sealing a pact that heaven could not ignore. Archangel Michael comes to you now not to frighten, but to reveal. Heaven watches not just the righteous but also the workings of the wicked. The hour was late, the moonlight dim, and yet the darkness they operated in was not of nightfall, it was the darkness of the human heart, corrupted by envy, fear, and false love. They whispered your name. Not to bless you. Not to pray for you. But to exploit you. To remove you from something divinely yours. This meeting was not accidental. It was premeditated. One initiated the discussion, the other agreed more quickly than heaven anticipated. Their goal, to change something in your world, a position, a possession, a promise, something they believe you don't deserve, or worse, something they desire to steal for themselves. And while you rested, your soul stirred. Did you feel it? That strange restlessness, that whisper in the dream that faded before dawn? It was your guardian angels sounding an alarm within your spirit. Because you have been chosen. You are divinely assigned. And no plan formed against you can succeed, not without your awareness, and not without your fight. Archangel Michael says, "Wake up, beloved." Not just from your sleep, but from spiritual slumber. See what you were never meant to see. Hear what they hoped would remain hidden. You are not helpless. This betrayal was intercepted by heaven before it reached full execution. But the awareness of it is being handed to you now, like a divine scroll. What you do next will determine not only your survival, but your rise. This message is your sign. The angels are near. Watch closely who calls you today. Who suddenly wants to check in. Who is overly friendly, or unusually distant. Watch the body language, the delay in their eyes, the shift in their tone. You are not being paranoid. You are being awakened. There is something they agreed upon last night that must not come to pass. That is why heaven has sent this word. You are being targeted while vulnerable. But the truth is, even while asleep, you were never defenseless. With heaven as your shield and Michael as your messenger, you will walk through this betrayal not broken, but burning with divine clarity. You have been warned, not to worry, but to win. The deal has been made, but it will not stand. Do you remember the ones who claimed they cared for you? Who offered affection, support, and loyalty with eyes that gleamed with friendship? I must now uncover what heaven has seen in private. These same individuals, who smiled when they looked at you, were pouring venom from their lips when you were not around. Yes, they embraced you. They asked how you were doing. They checked in on you. And yet, underneath that mask was a strategy so manipulative that even the angels recoiled at its design. Their hearts were not with you. Their loyalty was a performance. Their affection was strategic, used to get close, observe, and eventually, to wound. You must understand this, what they showed you was not love. It was leverage. They studied your emotions. They calculated your kindness. And last night, they used that knowledge to form an alliance against you. One driven by insecurity and jealousy, the other fueled by fear of your rising light. Michael says, their smiles were sharp. Their hugs were hollow. Their words were rehearsed, and their loyalty was fake. This is not to shake your trust in everyone, but to empower your discernment. The betrayal you sense is real. Your intuition has been accurate. You see, betrayal rarely starts with a scream. It starts with a whisper. A whisper behind your back that mutates into action. And though they may act like nothing has changed, the energy around them has already shifted. One of them feels guilty, and they are trying to overcompensate. The other feels emboldened, acting as if they've won. But heaven laughs at the schemes of the wicked. For no matter how they pretend, their words are written in the spiritual realm. Angels have recorded what was said. And the one who betrays in secret will be exposed in light. It is time for you to take back your clarity. The confusion they caused? Release it. The love you poured into them? Forgive yourself. You were not foolish, you were faithful. You were not naive, you were noble. They simply were not worthy of that level of trust. Now, take a breath. Step into your divine authority. Begin to observe without absorbing. Do not let their presence disturb your peace, instead, let their exposure strengthen your purpose. You have nothing to prove. But you have everything to protect. Guard your space. Guard your heart. And allow Archangel Michael to cut the spiritual cords connecting you to false allies. This message is not to isolate you, it is to elevate you. Because you are walking into a season where only real love can go with you. The poison is being removed, and what remains will be purified. Breathe, beloved. Truth has arrived. And truth, no matter how painful, is the beginning of freedom. Now let me speak clearly, beloved, this was not a misunderstanding. It was not just idle gossip or momentary frustration. No, this was a transaction, a spiritual agreement, made with full intention. A deal was struck last night. And you, your name, your blessings, your future, you were the subject of that deal. Archangel Michael does not bring these words lightly. But truth must be uncovered before freedom can flourish. These two people, who once shared laughter with you in moments of trust, now stand on the side of manipulation and ambition. Their goal? To remove you from a path they secretly covet. To claim something God gave you, as if it were theirs to possess. Their agreement was dark in nature. It may have taken the form of gossip, but its spiritual weight was heavier. It may have seemed like strategy, but its intention was theft. One person suggested it. The other nodded quickly. And together, they decided how to move forward. They planned to influence someone. They plotted to sway a decision. They laid groundwork to cast you in a shadow, to make you seem unworthy of the light God placed upon you. But, heaven sees all. The moment they made that pact, angels were dispatched. Not to stop the conversation, but to record it. Not to block your awareness, but to prepare your strength. You were never meant to live unaware. That's why this word finds you today. It is your scroll of awareness. Michael declares, they made their decision. Now you must make yours. Will you pretend not to see? Or will you stand in spiritual authority and declare that no weapon formed against you shall prosper? The path they are plotting is lined with falsehoods. They believe they can outmaneuver your destiny. But they forget, destiny is not a ladder you climb with lies. It is a road paved by righteousness. Now you must guard your energy. This is not a time to confront with anger, but to observe with clarity. Shift your prayers. Fortify your spirit. The deal was made in the dark, but you are light. And light exposes what darkness cannot hide. There is still time to overturn their influence. God is not allowing you to be blindsided. You've been chosen to walk in truth, and truth, now awakened, is your sword. This deal was meant to detour you. But instead, it has positioned you for elevation. Watch as heaven flips the script. Watch as their plan crumbles while you rise. You were the target. But heaven says you are now the victor. If you are reading these words, it is not by accident. You have been summoned into awareness by divine will. Heaven has intervened. This message is not merely a coincidence, it is a rescue. Archangel Michael has been assigned to awaken your spirit to the war being waged around you, a war not with swords and fists, but with intentions, secrets, and shadows. Last night, when they whispered, heaven responded. When they agreed in secret, angels stood in the corners of that very room, their wings covering the space between deception and your destiny. You were not abandoned. You were protected. You see, the betrayal that was birthed in darkness did not go unseen. God dispatched messengers to halt what could have become catastrophic. Had heaven not intervened, the consequences of their plot would have moved faster and deeper than you realize. But mercy stepped in. Grace interrupted. You were shielded while you slept. Have you noticed strange delays? Sudden blocks in conversations or appointments being rescheduled? That was no accident. Divine forces are subtly undoing the ripple effects of their plan. The doors they tried to close on you are reopening. The people they tried to turn against you are being stirred by conscience or confusion. And the manipulation is beginning to crack. This message is your confirmation. That strange tension you felt? That inner unrest? That unexplainable need to retreat, reflect, and reset? It wasn't anxiety. It was intuition. It was your soul registering a battle in the unseen. Archangel Michael says, you are being pulled out of the fire before it consumes you. Heaven will not let you burn for someone else's jealousy. But now, you must cooperate with this divine intervention. Do not return to the arms that tried to strip you of your calling. Do not explain away the betrayal just to preserve comfort. Heaven has shown you what it took to protect you. Now protect yourself. Begin to cleanse your spiritual atmosphere. Light a candle. Speak a blessing over your name. Break agreements with fear, with shame, with silence. You are not crazy. You are not dramatic. You are chosen. You are anointed. And this moment is sacred. This revelation is a turning point. They may have plotted against you. But heaven has appointed you. And that is why you are reading this now. To rise. To reclaim. To resist. This is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where your clarity begins. This part may be difficult to hear, but it is necessary. One of the individuals involved in this betrayal has spoken something that reached heaven's ears. A phrase so laced with judgment, so soaked in resentment, that it stirred the heavens and triggered this divine revelation. They always think they're better than the rest of us. Let's see how strong they really are when we take this away. These words were not just bitter, they were strategic. Spoken not in passing but with the intent to harm. Spoken not from pain but from pride. The person who said this once claimed to be in your corner. They once celebrated your wins. But deep beneath that cheer was comparison, jealousy, and a festering resentment that has now erupted into action. Heaven records every word. Words carry energy. And these words were not casual. They were an energetic attack. A spell of doubt designed to reach your ears indirectly and undermine your confidence. It was their way of declaring war on your self-worth. But here's what Archangel Michael says: they spoke against you, but they spoke too soon. For what they hoped would unravel you has only unlocked your spiritual power. That sentence, that insult, was a mirror reflecting their own insecurity. They see something in you that frightens them, your peace, your light, your divine favor. They hope that if they took something from you, they could dim your brilliance. But heaven is now using their words as fuel for your transformation. You must choose not to internalize their poison. You must reject the spell and speak over yourself again. This is more than healing, this is spiritual warfare. And your voice is your weapon. Speak truth. Speak life. Speak light. The betrayal hurts, yes. But it will not destroy you. It will define you. It will refine you. The more they try to silence you, the louder heaven will speak on your behalf. And as for those words that were spoken behind your back, they are now evidence. Evidence of who you must distance yourself from. Evidence of who was never truly for you. Evidence that your discernment has been right all along. Let their words become your testimony. Let their schemes become your story of survival. And let their betrayal be the beginning of your breakthrough. Child of the Most High, do not be shaken by what they have plotted. For though their scheme was crafted with whispers and nods, it was built upon a foundation that cannot last. Their alliance was born from ego, not loyalty, from jealousy, not justice. It is fragile, unstable, and already beginning to crack. Heaven sees what man cannot. And Archangel Michael declares now, their agreement will not stand, because it was never rooted in truth. Like a house built on shifting sand, their partnership lacks the substance to endure. For anything established through lies, envy, or fear must eventually face divine correction. The two who join forces against you do not truly trust one another. They are bound by mutual benefit, not mutual love. Each believes they are using the other to get ahead. And in their pride, they have underestimated the cost of betrayal, not only to you, but to themselves. Soon, the very plan they formed will begin to unravel. Watch closely. You will see inconsistencies in their story. Contradictions in their behavior. Tension between them that was not there before. Heaven has already sown confusion into their alliance. Do not be surprised when their mask begins to slip. One of them will start to pull away. Guilt, fear, or even self-preservation will drive them to rethink their choices. They will speak to others, trying to rewrite the narrative. But it will be too late. The seed of their downfall has already been planted. Michael urges you, stand still. Do not chase justice in your own strength. Let heaven do what it must. Your vindication will come, not from revenge, but from righteousness. The collapse of their plan will not require your intervention. It is already happening. And when it does fall apart, there will be clarity. People who were once silent will begin to speak. Truths that were hidden will rise to the surface. And the blessing they tried to steal from you? It will multiply in your hands. Take comfort, beloved. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. No lie told about you shall remain. No deal made in darkness can destroy what God has ordained in light. Their betrayal was loud, but your breakthrough will be louder. So stand firm. Watch patiently. Forgive deeply, but guard wisely. For heaven has promised, I will make your enemies your footstool. I will prepare a table before you in the presence of those who tried to remove your chair. Let the sand beneath their agreement sink. and let the solid rock of your faith rise. Now that truth has been revealed, the choice is yours, dearest one. You are standing at a spiritual crossroad, and Archangel Michael urges you not to take this decision lightly. Will you remain in silence, shrinking in the shadows of betrayal, or will you rise in sovereignty, clothed in divine authority and strength? This betrayal was meant to silence you, to keep you small, distracted, doubting. But heaven has placed before you a greater truth: you are not powerless, and you are not meant to merely survive this. You are meant to reign through it. Silence may feel safer. It may offer temporary peace. But that silence will grow heavy. It will make your spirit ache with unspoken truth and locked-up power. Silence in the face of deception is not peace, it is surrender. And you were not created to surrender to darkness. Sovereignty, on the other hand, means taking back your spiritual throne. It means no longer asking for permission to exist, to speak, to shine. It means aligning with heaven's view of you, not man's opinion. It means walking boldly in your calling even while others plot behind your back. Michael declares, you are not a victim of their plan. You are a vessel of God's purpose. And your response will determine your rise. Let this be the moment where your clarity becomes louder than their lies. Let this be the hour where you say, I know who I am, and I refuse to be defined by betrayal. Start small, if you must. Write your truth. Speak your truth. Pray your truth. Remove yourself from spaces that drain your peace. Release what you thought you needed from them, and reclaim what heaven has always placed within you. You do not have to fight the way they fought. Your power lies in your purity. Your strength is in your alignment with truth. And as you rise in sovereignty, everything that belongs to you will find its way back to you, restored, multiplied, and shielded by grace. Choose courage over comfort. Choose clarity over confusion. Choose sovereignty over silence. Heaven is backing you. The angels are surrounding you. And Archangel Michael stands beside you, sword drawn, declaring, no more shrinking. No more silence. Rise now, for your royalty has been reawakened. This is the final word, beloved, and it comes not just as comfort but as a call to action. Archangel Michael unsheathes his final sword, a sword not of steel, but of revelation. A sword that cuts through illusion and delusion. A sword that breaks open the strongholds of betrayal, doubt, and delay. You were never meant to live under the weight of what others did to you. You were created to live above it, to walk through fire without being burned, to rise from ashes carrying wisdom in your wings. Let this message be your breakthrough. Not just another whisper of hope, but the loud, resounding yes of heaven declaring, you have endured enough. Now it is time to emerge. The two who betrayed you may still believe their plan has power. But their whispers have lost their sting. Their alliance is dissolving. Their strategies are being scattered. And now, your name is being cleared in the spirit realm. Heaven is making declarations about you. This one is mine. This one is rising. This one will be restored. Do not waste another moment replaying what they said or did. Instead, step into the anointing that has always been waiting for you. This betrayal was a detour, but now it becomes a doorway. The pain becomes a portal. The wound becomes a witness to your transformation. Michael says, pick up your sword, your voice, your truth, your authority. Step into the room with your crown on. Let them see you whole, unharmed, and chosen. Asterisk. Today, draw a line in the sand. Angels are moving now. Breaking barriers. unlocking doors, healing wounds, clearing paths. What was meant to destroy you will become your testimony. What was meant to silence you will become your song. Let this be the moment you remember forever. Not because of the betrayal, but because of the birth. The birth of a bolder you, a wiser you, a freer you. You are not the betrayal. You are the breakthrough. And with Archangel Michael as your warrior, your defender, your divine ally, you will not fall. You will rise. You will reign. You will return to the throne heaven prepared for you long before they ever tried to push you off it.